Welcome to Payroll in a TallyPrime section. Under this section, we will learn about the stuff for payroll in a TallyPrime. Under this section, we will learn about what's the payroll and how to enable the payroll features in TallyPrime. Then we are going to discuss about how to enable the statutory features in TallyPrime. Finally, we are going to look at that what's the 5-step for payroll process in TallyPrime. So the first part is what's the payroll. Payroll is a company employee salary, wages, bonus, net pay and deduction calculation and process list are called payroll. It means that if you're working in a company, we are expecting something from the organization. Those are salary, wages, bonus and net pay. So these calculation process should be calculated in a systematic way. This systematic process, it's called that payroll. Now we are going to look at that how to enable the payroll features in TallyPrime. If you want to enable the payroll features in TallyPrime, it's very simple. First, you need to press the F11 key into the keyboard. Then it will company features window will appear. Then you can see that under the payroll, the first option is maintain payroll. You just select the yes button. After that, you are enabled to work with the TallyPrime with the payroll, right? So this is how we can enable the payroll in a TallyPrime. Next, we are going to look at that how to enable the payroll statutory features. If you want to enable the payroll statutory features, it's a very simple. As usual, if you press the F11 into the keyboard, the company features will come. Then you need to select yes in front of enable statutory features in payroll, right? That's it. So you can see in the window it's look like this, right? Now we are going to look at that the 5-step for payroll process in TallyPrime. So if you want to work with the payroll in a TallyPrime, you need to do this 5-step. It is very simple to process the payroll in a TallyPrime. As per the payroll process, the first step, we should create the employees master. Under the create the employees master, you need to create employees group creation. After that, employees creations, right? Then second thing is that second step for payroll process, create the payroll master. Under the create payroll masters, you need to create the unit creation and attendant type creation. The third step for payroll process is create pay head. Under the create pay head, we have to enter the employees pay head such as earning, deduction, employers statutory deduction, employees statutory contribution, gratuity, loan in advance, reimbursements to employees. The fourth step for the payroll process is create salary details. Under the create salary details, we have to define the group salary as well individual salary structure. The final step for the payroll process is payroll process. So the first step for the payroll process is that employees master creations, right? So under the employee master creation, there are two things are very important. The first one is employees group creation and employees creation. Now we are going to look at that. The first one is employees group creation. Employees group creations mean, if you look at the organization structure is different. The organization divided based on the department such as marketing department, financial department, procurement department, HR department, like that, right? So this is called that employees group. So under the department, there are a lot of workers are working. So we can easily classify the organization employees based on the department, right? For example, we can divide an employees group such as marketing department employees group and human resource employees group, procurement employees group. Likewise, we can divide a company's employees group, right? So if you want to create the employees group, just go to the gateway of Tally and you can click the create button. After that, you can see that under the employees master, you can see one of the option is employees group. So if you click the employees group, you can see this window will be appear. In this organization, we divided two groups. The first one is factory workers, other one is office workers, right? So the factory workers, you can see they created and it is coming under the primary, and defined salary not here, they didn't put, right? That's it. So this is how we can create the employees group. The second thing is that employees creation. Employees creations mean employees relevant information and employees details we should enter. That is called that employees creations. If you want to get this employees creation, go to the gateway of Tally and click the create button. Under the create button, you can see that employees master. Under the employees master, you can see employees, right? So if you click the employee button, you can see this window. So the first in this window you can enter every details and employees relevant information you can enter. For example, here you can see the employee's name and he is working under the office workers, and date of joining, defined salary details no, employee's number, designation, function, location, gender, date of birth, blood group, father's mother's name and address and bank details and everything you can see here. So you can enter the each employee relevant information. This is the employees creation, right? Now we are going to look at the second step for payroll process. The second step for payroll process is create payroll master, right? Under the create payroll master, we have to create the unit creation. The second one is attendance type creations. Now we are going to look at the first one is unit creations. Unit creations mean we need to measure the employees working time, right? So we have to measure the employees working time. That is called that unit creation. For example, we measure the employees working time as hours, right? So in this situation, we can put the unit creation hours and minutes, right? Likewise, we can create. In this organization, they created hours. This is type simple and hours. The formal name is hours and the number of decimal place 2, right? Likewise, we can create. So this is called the unit creations. The next one is attendance creations. Attendance creations mean we have to create the attendance. If they come to the work, we have to be present. If they didn't come to the work, we have to put that absent. We don't need to be paid, right? So we can create the attendance type present. If it is present, we pay. So you can see here the attendance name is present. It is coming under the primary attendance type, attendance or leave with the paid days, right? So this is the attendance creation. The third step for payroll process is pay head creations. Under the pay head creations, we should know that earnings, deductions, employers, statutory deduction, employees, statutory contributions, credit duty, loan and advance, reimbursement to employees. So these are the things we should understand. So the first part is how to get the pay head in TallyPrime. If you want to get the pay head in TallyPrime, just go to the gateway of Tally. You can click the create button. Then after that you can see that pay head under the employee masters, right? So this is the pay head window. Before going to enter the details about the pay head, we should understand what's the pay head. The pay head means the employee's total allowance and deductions list are called that pay head, right? For example, if you are working in the organizations, there are a variety of allowance they provided, as well the variety of deductions they cut from your salary, right? So these total allowance and the total deduction list are called that pay head, right? So we will study the pay head details and pay head type the next slide. So you can see here the pay head types. The first one is bonus. Bonus means the company provide the additional money for the end of the year. If the company is running well, so the end of the year they will provide the bonus. That is called that bonus. The second thing is that deduction from employees. If it is anything deduction, they have a cut from your salary, so this is come under the deduction from employees. The third is earning for the employees. What are the allowance you earn for the employee? Those are the things are coming under the earning for employees, right? For example, the basic salary and the overtime allowance, house rent allowance, and what are the allowance? It's coming under the earning for employees. The earning for employees mean during the company period, what are the things are you earning? So this is add as an allowance, and this type is called that earning for employees. The next one is employees statutory deduction. It means that the legal deduction like EPF. The EPF should be deducted for the employees contribution under the employees statutory deduction. The next one is employers other charge. If it is employer charge getting, we have to be select employers other charge. The next one is employers statutory contribution. Employers statutory contributions mean the employers on behalf of our employees, they have to be enter the EPF and EPS. So these are the things are coming under the employers statutory contribution. Gratuity mean end of the retirement, the company provide the money or the allowance, that is called that gratuity. Loan and advance mean if you get the loan from the organization or if you get the advance from the organization, these are the things are coming under the loan and advance. Reimbursement to employees mean end of the returning time, the company provide a bulk amount of money, that is called that reimbursement to the employees. The tax paid by the employer on prestige. Now we are going to look at that the pay head calculations type. So there are 5 major type of calculation for the pay head. The first as a computed value mean if it is percentage based your pay head, you need to be choose the as computed value. For an example, 15% based on our basic salary. So 15% means this is a percentage. So at the time we have to be choose the type of calculation as a computed value. The second is as a user defined value. As a user defined value mean if the accountant enter as a manually, that is called that as user defined value, right? Time to time it will be changed, right? So the third is flat rate. Flat rate mean fixed rate amount we deduct or we provide the allowance. This is the type is called that flat rate. The fourth one is on attendance mean based on the attendance we provide the allowance, that is called that on attendance type of calculation. On productions mean on productions based type of calculation we calculate the pay head. This is called that on production based type of calculations, right? So these are the things that we should understand under the pay head. Now we are going to look at that the fourth step for payroll process. The fourth step for payroll process is create salary details. Under the create salary details we have to be do the two things. The first group salary pay structure and the individual salary pay structure we have to be do. Sometimes the people saying that group salary defined, individual salary defined, both are same, right? So what are those? It means that we have already created pay head. Based on the pay head, right, we have to be define the salary. Sometimes the peoples are not getting some of the pay head. For example, sometimes the peoples are not getting house loan. So at that time we have to remove the house loan from their salary defined or salary pay structure, right? So it means that simply we can say that we can say that simply to be allocating the allowance and deduction of the group employees. We have already created the group, so we have to allocate the allowance and deduction based on the group. So that is called that group salary pay structure. If you look at here, factory workers, so under the factory workers, the all factory workers salary defined like this. First basic salary, second DNS allowance, the third is EPF, the fourth is employees contribution, and EPS employees contributions, food allowance, house loan, income, and income tax, medical allowance, overtime allowance, traveling allowance. So these are the things are coming under the factory workers salary pay structure, right? So how to get this one? First you need to go to the gateway of Tally and click the alter. Under the alter you can see that employees group. So under the employees group you can see the salary defined. You need to be choose yes. If you choose the yes, this window will be appear, then you can edit, right? The next one is individual salary pay structure or individual salary defined. Individual salary defined mean we have to be allocate the allowance and deduction for the individual employees, right? So based on the pay head, we allocated the allowance and deduction for the individual employees. If you want to get this individual salary pay structure or individual salary defined, first go to the gateway of Tally and click the alter, and you can see that employees alter, and then you can select the salary defined, and you can choose the yes button. After that you can see this window and you can enter the salary defined for the individual person, individual employees. So this is the fourth step. Now we are going to look at that. The fifth step for payroll process. This is the final step. So the final step for the payroll process is process the payroll. So under the process the payroll, the first we have to process the attendance. So now we are going to look at that. What's the attendance process? Attendant process means to enter the employee's attendant based on the attendant types. We can create the attendant types like a present and overtime, right? So if it is present, we choose that how many days working, right? As well, if it is overtime, we have to enter the overtime, right? So if you look at it here, you can see that employee's attendant type is a present. So the working day we have to entered, right? And the second attendance we have to enter the overtime. Then we have to enter the value. After that, the attendance process will be completed, right? So the next one is payroll process. The payroll process is we have to transfer this attendance to payroll to make a salary, right? So based on the attendance, we can make the payroll process. Payroll process means to enter payroll transaction to individual employees. If you want to get this payroll process, gateway of Tally and click the vouchers and choose the other vouchers, and you can select the payroll vouchers. After that, you are able to select the autofill payroll vouchers. Then you can enter the details. After that, it's automatically generate the payroll process. So the next one is payment process. After prepared the payroll process, we have to transfer the money to the employees' individual accounts. So if you want to get the payment process, click the gateway of Tally. Under the gateway of Tally, you can see the vouchers. Under the vouchers, you can choose the payment vouchers, and now you can select the autofill under the payment vouchers, and if you enter the details, it automatically generate the payment process. After that, it will ask how can we generate the payment. Maybe we can enter the check numbers or online, whatever you can choose. Then you can transfer the payment for the individual employees, right?